Hi, I'm Judy. Welcome to Go with Yin Yoga and today's practice for active people and inactive people as well. I'll talk about that a little bit after we begin to connect with our bodies. And also, I'm going to talk a little in the beginning, I'm going to talk a little in the end, and in between, except to talk you between poses, I will be mostly silent, which is a little unusual for me. So, come into an easy seated position. I suggest you sit up on a block or a cushion or some blankets. You could also be laying down if that's comfortable for you, whatever you prefer. And just take your attention around your room, noticing the things you see, maybe the things you hear, maybe the touch of your clothes on your body. If you're lucky enough to be outside, perhaps the wind. Begin to take your attention inside. Take your attention to your breath. And if it's comfortable for you, go ahead and close your eyes. Otherwise, begin to let your gaze become unfocused, allowing yourself time to arrive in the present moment. With every breath you breathe in, you're taking in energy, and every breath you breathe out, you are sinking deeper and deeper into the support of whatever you are sitting on or laying on, feeling all the points where your body meets that support, knowing that you are safe. Now take your hands to the left side of your body. Hopefully I'm showing that right. Left side of your body, kind of the upper abs, the area of your stomach, and also your spleen. Take your hands there, maybe setting an intention for your practice. Begin to visualize a golden yellow light just bathing your spleen, your stomach, with energy. Today's practice will target our spleen and stomach meridians. It is about grounding. It is about bringing energy back into tired limbs. So if you're a runner, you walk a lot, you hike, you bike, all of these things, this is an excellent practice for you. And if you are none of those things, but you sit a lot, this is another excellent practice for you. Just continue breathing in and out through your nose, seeing that healing golden yellow light bathing your organs on your left side. And physically, this practice will target your whole posterior chain, and specifically your quads and your hip flexors, your inner leg and your knees, your stomach, your chest. So these are the areas that we are targeting as we move through these postures. And that can help to really deeply nurture ourselves. It can help to have a sense of abundance. It can help to bring energy back, especially to the legs. And now let your hands just fall into your lap and slowly blink your eyes open if they've been closed. And come up off of whatever you've been sitting on. If you have a couple of blocks, I'm going to just suggest having them on their lowest height towards the front of your mat. begin in a tabletop position. Just pause here. Notice how your energy may have changed between when you first sat down on your mat or laid down on your mat. And another thing this practice will do is to help decrease worry. So go ahead and take your hands on the block if you're using them. If your knees are sensitive, you can pad them with a blanket. Go ahead, step forward with your right foot into basically a low lunge. In Yin Yoga, we call this dragon. We're going to stay in most of the postures for this practice for a slightly shorter amount of time, about 3 minutes. Last couple breaths here. Go ahead and begin to move your hips back a little bit towards your heels. Take your blocks out to one side. Move them out of the way so you can see me. And take that right leg and begin to just heel toe it over towards the left side of your mat. Slowly coming down. Left leg is straight out behind you. Coming into Swan or Pigeon Pose as we know it in Hatha Yoga. Doesn't matter if the right shin is parallel with the mat, and if it is, that's great. If it's not, it's also great. And if this is uncomfortable for you, especially if you're feeling pressure in your knee, I've linked up above a video with a lot of variations for Swan Pose. So you can pause the video, go check that out. And maybe you'd like to come down onto your elbows. And maybe you'd like to come all the way down, arms stretched forward, forehead possibly coming to the mat or to a block. Make sure you're going to your edge. Last couple of breaths here. And slowly press into your palms, walking them back towards your body. Go ahead and unwind that right leg and bring it straight back behind you. And slowly come down to your stomach. Bend your right hand, or right elbow, and reach back with the left. Grab hold of the left foot. And you can take your head on top of that right hand. And just pull towards your glutes until you feel some sensation, and then let your body relax into that edge. Let gravity do the work. And if it's too difficult for you to reach back and grab a hold of your foot, then I'm going to suggest looping a strap around it. Last couple of breaths here. And slowly let go of that left foot. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders and press yourself up into a tabletop position and just pause. Notice if you feel any difference side to side. Notice if you feel a sense of energy moving through your body. And notice if any emotions have bubbled up for you. And now we have to go on to our second side. So if you use blocks for Dragon Pose, on our first side, go ahead and grab those blocks. Take your hands on top of them. And this time, step your left foot forward. Last couple breaths here. Go ahead and begin to push your glutes back a little bit. Take those blocks off to the side. And again, heel toward the left foot. Over. Straighten that right leg out behind you. Let your shoulders and face relax. Swan Pose. And maybe you'd like to come down to your forearms. And maybe you'd like to come all the way down. The chest yearns for your mat, or it could come to the mat or a block. See if you can get your hips as level as possible. Last couple of breaths. And slowly come onto your palms, walking your hands back towards your body, beginning to bend into that back knee and bringing the front knee back to meet. Coming briefly through a tabletop position, and then take your toes together and knees as wide as the mat, and sit your hips back onto your heels. You can grab a block, place it underneath if this feels uncomfortable for you. And again, forehead comes to either the mat or another block. Wide-legged child's pose. The last couple of breaths here. And for our final posture, again, it is your choice. You could simply come forward, stretch your legs out behind you, laying on your stomach. And you can bend your elbows out to either side, take your hands on top of each other, or even make a couple of fists, and lay your forehead down. And take your legs as far apart as feels comfortable for you. And that is one option. Another option is to come into a regular Savasana, where you're laying on your back, possibly with a bolster under your knees. That'll help your low back release a little bit. And I am going to just speak a little bit, and then I will let you lay in silence so that this practice can really integrate into your body. So again, if you're a very sedentary person, this is actually a great practice because it's going to open up all those areas that get really stiff when you're sitting a lot. And even if you're not an inactive person, but you do sit a lot, this will be a great practice for you. If you are a very active person and you're a runner, a hiker, a biker, this is also going to be a great practice for you, assuming no injuries, of course. If you do have an injury, you always have to be aware of your own body and modify to suit your own body. This is a great exercise to increase your energy, get some energy back after you've done some hard workouts. Don't do it. At least I'm asking you not to do it immediately after a hard workout because your muscles will be very warm and it's a little too easy to go too deep into the pose. I like to do this sort of practice at night before I go to bed. In fact, that's how I came up with this specific practice. I just said, what do I need right now? And this is what I came up with. And it felt really good. And my body felt really good the next day. And so that's what I really want you to notice as well. Not necessarily how your body feels this minute, how it feels later on today, how it feels when you get up tomorrow morning. It's also pretty good for digestion. Very important for everybody. And it helps to decrease worry as well, which I think most everybody these days could use as well. So now I'm going to just hold space in silence for you for a while. I'm going to make one last suggestion, two last suggestions. One, if you set an intention before you began this practice, come back to it now. And also, let's come back to that visualization, even taking your hands to the left side of your upper abs and seeing a healing yellow light there. It's just an invitation. You don't have to do it. And just relax however you want until you hear my voice again. With each exhalation, allow your body to sink a little deeper into your mat, feeling very, very grounded. Allow your breath begin to deepen. Any small movements you may need to wake up your body and come back into the present moment. And whether you are laying on your stomach or on your back, on your next inhale, begin to stretch your arms up overhead, really stretching out the entire body from the tips of your fingers down to the tips of your toes. And then gently roll to one side, bending the knees, bringing them up towards your chest. And pause here, cradling your head with your arms stretched out on the mat, taking a few deep breaths. Eyes remain closed. And slowly begin to push into your hands, walking your torso upright, taking an easy seated position again. Bring the palms of the hands together and begin to rub them back and forth in front of your heart. And then allowing the hands to come to stillness in Anjali Mudra, prayer mudra, in front of your heart. Head bows over your hands, giving gratitude for this practice, gratitude to yourself for taking this time for yourself, as I give gratitude for each and every one of you who practices with me. Slowly blink your eyes open, taking in the floor, and raising your head, hopefully with a smile on your face, and letting your hands fall into your lap. One last note. I didn't wear these leggings because of the moon cycle, but it's another thing to bring into your equation about how to get more energy when we live in tune with nature. Things tend to flow a little easier. I happen to be recording this during the full moon time, not right at the full moon, during the full moon time. And that is a time when generally our energy is at our highest. So if you can sync when you need to be really busy with a full moon, it works great, but I know that's not always easy to do. But just a little tidbit. And second last note, for my friends in the Southern Hemisphere, this is a great practice too, because the spleen and stomach meridians are in line with late summer. So as you're going into fall, this is a great practice. Not to mean it's not a great practice at any time. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, please click the like button. And if you'd like to practice with me again, go ahead and click subscribe and click the bell. If you'd like to explore the private Facebook group that I offer, that's in the description box below. There's a link to it. Make sure you answer the questions or I'm not going to be able to let you into the group. May you feel rested. May you allow this rest to calm your nervous system. May you feel worthy of taking rest every day. And may you be free from pain and suffering.